Perry County is second only to Jefferson County in reported flu cases. Why this year's flu season has been so bad and continues to close schools. And after a night of delays, the results of Iowa's highly contentious Democratic caucuses finally started trickling in about 30 minutes ago. And we'll have the information about the frontrunners.
Our severe weather alert day starts now as heavy rains expected to move in Wednesday night. Those details right now at 5:30.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. We are kicking off a severe weather alert day due to the threat of heavy rain and flooding through the end of the week. A flood watch was issued late this afternoon for much of our region. Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel joins us first with more on what to expect. Paige?
Yeah, Steve, well, we've seen that rain. It started last night, has continued throughout the day today. It's been heavy at times, but not as heavy as it's going to get as we head into tomorrow. So far, we've already seen about half an inch to an inch of rain. You'll notice that we're keeping a pretty close eye on areas down into the Cumberland Valley. Barberville close to an inch, along with Black Mountain over there into Harlan County, Whitesburg at about half an inch, a little over half an inch over into Whitley City. So you see just those greens kind of popping up for today. It was heavy at times, but starting to become a little bit more scattered, to some of us seeing a rain break. But we have this flood watch that's in effect for a lot of us here in Kentucky. This goes into effect Wednesday night, runs through Thursday. Our friends down in Tennessee and over into Virginia are in a flash flood watch basically for the same time Wednesday night through Thursday. So heavy rain is expected to fall as we head into tomorrow. How much expected? Well, we could see another 2 to 3 plus inches. You'll notice areas south of the Hal Rogers Parkway and Highway 80. That's where we'll keep a pretty close eye on. The Europeans backed off on those totals a little bit, but still showing that widespread 2 to 3 inches on top of what we've already seen today. This runs now until we get to about midnight on your Friday. We'll break down the timing and impacts coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you very much. The results of the Iowa Democratic caucuses were delayed until just the last hour. The Iowa Democratic Party says its new mobile app recorded caucus data properly, but the problem was with reporting complete results. Now, about 5 o'clock, the state's Democratic Party released 62% of the results. Currently, Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders appear to be the two frontrunners with more than 50% of the total vote. So they're neck and neck right now. And again, that's not the complete vote. We still have to wait for that. But it appears Buttigieg and Sanders are the top two. Now, the big story might be that former Vice President Joe Biden is currently in 4th place. Now, you can stay updated on the results on our website, WYMT.com. A recent report shows that the number of flu cases in Kentucky are up once again. Perry County ranks number 2 for highest amount of cases across the state. WYMT's Katie Cook talks to a doctor about why this flu season seems to be worse.
For the second year in a row, flu season is hitting Kentuckians hard.
We've seen significantly more, just as a rough guesstimate, double if not more what we saw last year and a few years before.
But why is flu season so much worse than years past? Well, the weather could have something to do with it.
We haven't had really cold weather to kill some of the flu out, and it's also allowed people to be out and socializing more.
No snow days for kids and holiday breaks also means people are around each other more.
The holiday seasons always bring in folks from out of town who are carrying new strands.
And as for why Perry County has the second most cases, well, that remains a mystery.
Perry County, I've yet to be able to figure out why we're worse here.
The flu is here, still spreading, but you can prevent it.
If you know someone has the flu, try to avoid them.
Of course, washing your hands often helps, and
the third thing is just be aware of where you're going.
Sometimes just staying at home may be the safest option to keep you and your family healthy. In Perry County, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, some schools in eastern Kentucky are closed tomorrow or the rest of the week because so many students are sick. That includes Perry and Pike counties. You can always see the latest closings on our website, WYMT.com, and you can see them right now also at the bottom of your screen. Kentucky is one of only 19 states where schools still spank children. but a new House bill could change that. The Lexington Herald Leader reports that House Bill 22 was approved by a legislative panel earlier today. That bill would ban, quote, the deliberate infliction of severe pain to punish or discipline a student. Some schools have already banned corporal punishment. The Kentucky Senate has passed a bill to ban sanctuary policies by most public agencies in the state. The bill cleared the Senate after a lengthy debate Tuesday, passing on a 28-10 vote. The measure now goes to the GOP-led House. Opponents counter that the bill is not needed. They note that Kentucky has no sanctuary cities and that law enforcement cooperation already exists. Deputies in Wayne County say they arrested a man yesterday after he was held at gunpoint at a home on Kentucky Highway 1619. Lucky Bowman was charged with trespassing. He was bleeding from the hands and chest, apparently from walking through the woods. Deputies say Bowman had also tried to enter 2 other homes along the highway. He was charged with 2 counts of burglary and was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. The Louisville Courier-Journal reports that Kentucky Senator Rand Paul once again said the name of the alleged Ukraine whistleblower. Last week, Senator Paul tried to get Chief Justice John Roberts to ask a question allegedly naming the whistleblower, which was rejected. Today, in a speech on the Senate floor, he once again revealed the alleged informant's name. Paul says he, quote, supports protections against reprisal for whistleblowers, but not necessarily anonymity. It will be a historic event later tonight, a State of the Union address during an impeachment trial. The big question is whether President Donald Trump will even mention the trial. Our Washington Bureau's Ted Fioraliso has a preview.
President Trump will give his State of the Union speech inside the House of Representatives, the same chamber that impeached him last month. Will he address the elephant in the room? The senior administration official won't say. But here's what we do know. The theme of the speech is the great American comeback, and the official says the president will keep it optimistic. The president is expected to cover 5 topics. First, what the White House is calling the blue-collar boom. This is where the president will tout the recent trade deal with China and the USMCA with Canada and Mexico. Second, the president will talk about working families. He'll make a push for school choice and paid family leave. Third, health care. The president will emphasize lowering the cost of prescription drugs and contrast his vision of health care with those of the Democrats. Fourth, immigration. The president will talk about what the administration is doing on the southern border and take on sanctuary cities. And finally, he'll give an update on national security. As usual, there will be several guests sitting with the First Lady. They include Tony Rankins of Cincinnati, an Army veteran who suffered from PTSD and drug addiction but turned his life around, and Raul Ortiz from Border Patrol's Rio Grande Valley sector, responsible for Border Patrol operations in 41 Texas counties. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer will deliver the Democratic response. She was elected in 2018 after the state went for President Trump in 2016. In the Washington News Bureau, I'm Ted Fioraliso.
And you can watch the president's address right here on WYMT at 9 p.m. And we'll have some of the highlights, of course, tonight at 11. The first 2020 Corvette has rolled off the assembly line in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The new Corvette won the North American Car of the Year award last year. The engine is behind the seats instead of under the hood. The new model will be shipped to dealers by March. The price tag starts at around $60,000. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, American college students owe billions in student loans. We'll have tips on getting out of debt and how to avoid it in the first place.
And we'll continue to see the soggy weather as we head into tonight, but all eyes are on tomorrow night as very heavy rain moves into the mountains. We'll break down the timing and impacts coming up.
Melissa Noble once again sees the inside of a courtroom. I'll have those details coming up.